We need to think about what domain our learners are going to be in. Don't just assume that it'll all fall into place. Think very carefully, am I going to be running a skill session, predominantly skill, or is it going to be predominantly theory? They're the easiest ones to tackle first up. So think whether your session will be knowledge-based with a little bit of skill, or whether it will be biased towards skill with a little bit of knowledge. And also give very, very deep consideration to whether the adults that are learning, while they're doing their knowledge and skill, whatever ratio that is, will this learning challenge them in some way with respect to their attitudes, beliefs, emotions, feelings. Don't just push it away and go, oh, no, of course not. Think very carefully with your audience, will they be disturbed? Will there be ripples inside of them with respect to the technology or the theory that you're going to cover? Ignore that, and you ignore it at your own peril. Because if that barrier is there, they won't grab the skills and knowledge you think that you've dished up so logically. Irrespective of your logic, irrespective of your presentation, doesn't matter how good you do it, if you haven't dealt with these issues and allowed them to come out and be faced, then you're finding that they won't learn. So what we want to do first up as an activity, just so we cement these learning domains in our mind, is give you some examples, and then we're going to get you to write some learning outcomes, because stemming from the learning domains, once you know the adult learning principles, once you've appreciated that adults learn in a combination, there may not be much of this at all. There may not be much of that at all. You may have that combination. You may have this combination, knowledge and feelings, or you may have all three. You wouldn't have that. Yeah, unless you're a counsellor, but then of course you may not be facilitating learning. You are just taking that role. But if you're facilitating learning, you will never just have an affective domain. The affective will always be coupled with the skill or the knowledge or a combination. So those two can stand on their own, but this one is a link to those two, all one. That makes sense? Now what we'll do is we'll just reinforce these domains. Having reinforced them, it's kind of like, why am I learning about this? Now this is meaningful material. Now I'm going to show you why. Because adults will ask, why are you teaching me these learning domains? Why do I need to know these learning domains? Well, if you know them, and you know that you're going to be in these areas, you can then write appropriate learning outcomes. Because you will say to your audience, at the end of this training session, you will be able to do this, do this, do this.